Hello folks, hope you're okay. I've just finished in the gym and now going to record a podcast. So this is the Mind Muscle Connection. Welcome. If you're checking us out on YouTube, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out other videos in the series. If you're listening on the podcast, welcome. Thank you for joining us of this week's episode of the Mind Muscle Connection. Now, like I say, I have just finished in the gym. It is Monday, but today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So before we get going with the episode, I just want to say, take every day as a blessing and be grateful for everything that you have in your life, because there's so many people in this world that have had so many bigger struggles than us, and they've had to go through a lot more than we ever have and probably ever will. So take that time every morning to be grateful for everything that you have and everything that you go through, because it's a test and it's going to make you a better person because of it. Now, with this week's episode, we are going to be talking about hiring a coach, hiring a mentor, and investing in yourself, but investing in someone else to benefit you. And the reason why this podcast is coming right now, and it's going to be a short one, is just down to the fact of I have gone and hired myself a coach, and it is with the intentions of bringing better content each and every week, but also improving our business and improving our delivery of our business. So whether you are looking at improving your golf, you would hire a golf coach, you would go and have lessons with a professional. Whether you are trying to get your health and fitness up, you would hire a personal trainer or a physical trainer who would help you. Whether you're in business, if you want to improve your business, you have to seek people who have done what you want to do and they are where you want to be and help you get to where you want to be. So you would invest in a business coach that way. And that's not just the three examples or the only three examples. There are millions of examples that we could probably use, but these are the ones that I've just kind of thought of now. And you have to sometimes be willing to put aside your own biases and put aside your own beliefs to actually take that time and invest in someone. And it was a difficult thing for me. Kind of over the last 7 or 8 years, I've been kind of doing what I thought was best, and create content, create programs, market it, albeit not very well, try and get as many people as I can to purchase the products. And from a business aspect, it was very much conventional marketing, very much kind of conventional mindset, like this is what you should do and this is what other people have done and this is kind of how it is. And it got to a point where it was like, well, maybe that's not all it is. Maybe there is more. Maybe there is something that I'm missing. Maybe there is something that I can still learn. And this is where kind of being an open-minded comes into play, because it's taken me 7 or 8 years to get to the point where I'm like, right, I'm going to invest in someone else and they're going to help me help my business. So they're not helping my business, they're helping me help my business. And that is what a coach will do. So anytime you hire a coach, they don't just help you, they help you help yourself, okay? They're looking at my business and they're looking what I've been doing over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years as a personal trainer, and now they're looking at me and saying, well, why have you been doing it this way, and how come you've been doing it this way for so long, and you can clearly see from the analytics that it's not working, so how can we change it? And in the last week since joining them, they've torn my business apart, I've torn my business apart, they've torn me apart, I've torn myself apart, and it's starting to become a process and certainly a shift in mindset. And the first thing that we're looking at is mindset, and the way that I'm working in my business and working for my business, and what I'm doing to create the systems and processes that will allow me to scale my business in later kind of journey, but also set the foundation strong. And that I've got little bad habits that I've picked up, and whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's in a sport that you play, we all pick up bad habits and we all pick up bad routines that start to impact other areas, and that's where the foundations need to be strong. So we are working on the foundations now, we're strengthening the business, and we're creating those those little, like I say, foundations that we're gonna build on. And whenever you look at getting someone, they should always be looking at the foundations. So say, for example, it was hiring a personal trainer. The coach would essentially assess you on certain movement patterns and see how you are with them, and then from there they can progress the movement patterns or give you variations to strengthen those movement patterns. So I'd always look at your kind of the big five really. You've got your squat, you've got your hinge, you've got your pull, push, you've got your core, and kind of your cardio strength and cardio fitness probably were the ones that I would look at. So there's 6 really. But yeah, like you test people on how well they can squat. So does their knees break too much and kind of send their knees too far over their toes, and maybe their heels come up, and maybe they're the opposite where their hips go back too much and they hinge too much in the squat, which puts pressure on the lower back. Maybe when they're hinging, they're not activating their glutes properly and they can't hinge properly and they round at the back. Maybe when they're doing rows, they can't scapular retract and they can't keep a nice flat back. There's so many different things. When they're bench pressing or when they're doing push-ups, they can't hold their core tight. There's so many things that we can look at. And it's just a case of, once we've got those foundations strong, we can start to apply other areas that will strengthen them as well. So progressing your squats, you may do split squats, you may do lunges. Progressing your hinges, you may do straight leg deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, you might do a conventional deadlift or sumo deadlift. Get the rows right, you may do bent over rows, pull-ups, you may do all kinds of stuff. And it's just a case of, when you've built those foundations, that's when you can build on top of that, and that's what your coach is going to do. So when you invest in someone, they are looking at the foundations of your program, and from there they are assessing, well, can you actually now progress the movements? And when you get to a position that you can progress those movements, that's when the coach will talk to you and say, hey, look, we've been working on this for a while now, everything's progressing nicely, it's time to move it up, how do you feel about doing this? And they're not just going to prescribe it, they're not just going to say, hey, this is what we do. They're going to talk you through the process because they want you to understand it. And that's what I'm noticing already. They're talking me through the process of what my business has been doing. They've asked me what I would want from my business, and now they're saying, okay, well, these are the steps that we're missing, so can we now implement these? And it's simple things, really. So engagement is a huge one for business marketing. It's so easy to just put a social media post out and expect people to just reply, whereas actually if you're a one-man business, or you're like a kind of a duo business, or 2 people working inside it, one person should just be interacting with as many people as they can. And that's one thing that we've looked at now, and it's a case of, I'm going to be a lot more interactive with the people that are following me and the people that are interested in the area that I work in. So those that are interested in fitness, we're just going to interact with you a lot more because we want to help you. So instead of just putting out the content and expecting people to find it and love it, and how about we just kind of go to them and we talk to them a little bit more? So that's where we're at now, and that's what the coaching has helped us with. So the first stage is now putting more content out, but actually interacting with people to get the feedback of what they want and how we can improve it for them. So that's it, folks. I want you to look at an area of your life where maybe you need a coach, maybe you've been thinking about getting a coach, whether it's in fitness, whether it's in sport, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships, personal development. Find someone who can help you and create that network and start working with people, because from what I've got over the last week, it's certainly worth it. And it's an investment. It's not money out. It's going to, in the long run, it's going to create more for you. So folks, that is this week's episode of the Mind Muscle Connection. Go ahead and like the video, like the podcast, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the podcast, share it with as many people as you can, tag us on social media, and we'll be interacting a lot more thanks to the business coaching that we're going through. If you've got any questions, ping them over to us and we're happy to answer them, folks. All right, we will speak to you and see you all next week in the Mind Muscle Connection. Remember, your mind will quit before your body does. If you can change your mind, you can change your body. Take care.